keep Simmons out of the paint, keep Brown out of the paint, and then not let Richardson Smith hit threes. I mean, their guard, I felt like the more shots their posts took, except on offensive rebounds, was that was going to favor us, and I think that helped. I thought we wore them down a little bit. I mean, they certainly were more tired in the second half. That our bench outscored them 20-2, so that was a big factor in the game. And we talked at half about that being the case. I thought their zone was real active in the first half. I thought it was better than what we saw at their place. I mean, in terms of I thought they really kind of harassed Sarah at the foul line, but also made it tough for us to reverse the ball and get it as open a shots as we wanted. But we were very fortunate to be up one at half. I mean, coming back from 7 down in the last few minutes and having a lead, I thought was really big for our psyche and probably, hurt them in terms of just how they felt about coming out in the second half. But so bench points and the depth thing and just making their posts beat us from the perimeter and shooting, 13 to 17 footers.
Sarah started 1 for 8. I think there was about she probably played a whole half worth of minutes without shooting the ball, and then still affected the game. Kind of was the difference in stretching the lead out. Can you just talk about how she affected it?
Yeah. Well, she started 1 for 8, and then she only made 1 of her last 3, so she wasn't. But 9 assists to 1 turnover. I mean, that's pretty good. And obviously, a lot of that has to do with the fact that they played zone, and we put her in the foul line area and ask her to make decisions. And as a coach, that's one of the things we're going to miss most about her is she just, and she's played a lot there over her career, which makes it, lets her, I think it's a tough spot to play. There have been teams where we haven't had anybody that is really good there, and as much as we're going to miss her in a lot of games, I mean, when we play against zone, that's going to be hard to replace because she just does such a good job of distributing from there and taking her time and ball faking and getting people shots from there.
She couldn't find a way to get her 2 more points in
I know somebody came to me at about the 4-minute mark. It might have been the under 4, and said she was that far from a triple double. And I said, well, tell her to make a shot. 2 for 11. I mean, it's not like you didn't get enough shots up. So, yeah. But and then defensive rebounding, she's, I sometimes marvel that she's able to be as good a defensive rebounder as she is. I mean, she's, she's barely 6 foot. She doesn't jump that well. She's strong, but she's not, a beast or anything like that. But she's been a really good defensive rebounder over the course of her career, and just has a way of kind of battling. And the other thing you like about her is she doesn't give, once she gets it, she doesn't give it up. I mean, she kind of is strong with it and doesn't commit back to court turnovers. And they're a team that'll hang around the ball a little bit. And she didn't have backcourt turnovers off defensive rebounds, and obviously she helps us so much against the press too.
Yeah, I blame them. They can't make shots. Whenever people ask me about assists, I laugh because half the time I don't even do anything. I just throw it, and I have Marissa and Mackenzie. That's like last year. I had 4 then. I had Carly, Allie, Marissa, and Kenzie, all I could pass to, and everyone was like, you have such great assist numbers. I'm like, I have 4 great people I'm passing to that make the hard shot, and I just give them the easy pass. So, I don't know. Just we ran that skip pass play a couple times, and Marissa pretty much handed me about 4 assists off of that, so that was nice. But yeah, the assists are all them. I don't really do much on those, so couldn't make a shot, so I might as well pass it to someone who can.
24 field goals and 22 assists. There wasn't just you; the whole team was moving the ball really well tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that we definitely struggled the first maybe 10 minutes, and we couldn't really hit shots, and that was probably almost all me. But I think that we always kind of find a way to score, whether it's Ken's will kind of start it off by getting a drive in the lane and kind of kick us off, or Marissa will hit a 3. And I think that as long as we stay calm during the times where we can't score, then I think that we are pretty hard to beat.
I think that was something we needed to do too, because they're so long and you can't really drive as much, so we needed assists from everybody.
Mackenzie, obviously, Sarah's being a little modest. What's it mean for you guys to have a post player that can do what you can do?
I mean, it's definitely an advantage. You don't really get many post players that can do that.
Aww.
Yeah, just for her to be able to see the floor like that, and it kind of opens up everything for us because she can drive and pass it, so it's just, she makes it easy. She puts the pass on target, so.
I don't know about the drive. You guys need to stop giving it to me with 5 seconds left at the top of the key on the shot clock. I can't do that. But.
Were you aware that your shot was a little off and like kind of make a decision to, okay, I'm going to facilitate a little bit, or was it just kind of how the game was developing?
I think it was more, I guess in the first half I had the mindset, like Flan was like, your shots are like good shots you're still taking, you're just missing them. So Flan kind of had the more keep shooting thing, and at the time we were struggling to score overall, so I had more of like, okay, fine, I'll keep shooting. But I think as the game went on and more people started to step up in big shots, it became a lot easier for me. Especially, they were doing a really good job. The first time we played them, they didn't really guard the high post, like, at all. So I had a lot of open looks. And I had a decent amount of open looks tonight, but I thought they did a really good job of collapsing more so. And I thought that made it a lot easier decision for me to just, like, dump it off to the people on the perimeter. So, yeah, as the game went on and as we started drilling, Ken's was drilling threes, Marissa was drilling threes, I was like, all right, just find the hot hand. I think that's what you got to do in every game, is just find who's hitting and keep giving it to them.
A week ago, I thought you guys might be just playing for a seed, you know, trying to avoid playing games, that kind of stuff. Now all of a sudden you find yourself game out first, tied for second. Talk about just a slow run you guys made.
We never really saw it like that. It's always been kind of, we weren't expecting anything less than first, second, or third, just in the top 3 or 4 up there. But I think it was more of our mindset, just going into every game, every practice, thinking, okay, we need to be better because this isn't doing it.
I agree. I think that I give a lot of credit to Flan, because Flan's always the one that, I think it'd be easy for him as a coach to be like, all right, like, probably, like, even going into St. John's, he's like, if we, like, lose this, you know, like, maybe we're just playing for a seed. But I think he always really talked to us about, like, hey, now in the Big East, it's not like the Valley anymore. It's not like you have to win the tournament to get into the NCAAs. It's, you're in a really good league now. You're playing really good teams every single night. And I don't know, I think the fact that he was just like, finishing top 2 or 3 is great, like, but we can do this, like, we can win. And I don't know how many times in the past couple of weeks he said to us, we're a really good team right now, but we can be a great team. And I think that's kind of really motivated me too, to be like, step up and be like, what can I do to make us go from really good to great? And I think that we have, and then it goes back, I think, to peaking kind of at the right time. If you think about it, like, yeah, it's great if you peak in January and you're leading the league in January, but at the same time, it's awesome if we can ride out this momentum into the tournament. I think that's big for us. I know that happened our sophomore year. We struggled a lot at the beginning of the season, but then we really kind of hit a peak towards the end, and then going into the tournament, I think that momentum that you get is such a big thing too. Like, I think freshman year we lost our last 3 games going into the tournament, and we struggled really bad there. But versus you win out the last couple games, you're feeling a little bit better. Everyone's hitting some shots. They're not afraid to step up. And I think that this is really big for us, and these next 2 games are absolutely huge. And
I think we kind